everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by. Your support helps to reach good people like yourselves. So with that said, today we're diving deep into a topic that affects millions, but is rarely discussed openly: the profound psychological impact of being broke. What does financial hardship actually do to your mind, your relationships, and your sense of self? Being broke isn't just about having empty pockets or checking your bank balance with dread. It's about carrying an invisible weight that fundamentally reshapes how your brain functions, how you perceive yourself, and how you interact with the world around you. Research from Princeton University reveals that financial stress creates what psychologists call a scarcity mindset, a mental state that fundamentally alters your cognitive abilities and decision-making processes. When you're broke, your brain is constantly juggling urgent needs with severely limited resources. This mental load consumes what researchers call cognitive bandwidth, essentially your brain's processing power and ability to think clearly. Studies show that people experiencing financial stress perform significantly worse on cognitive tests, not because they're less intelligent, but because their mental resources are already maxed out managing financial worries and survival concerns. Think of it like running multiple demanding programs on an old computer with limited RAM. Everything slows down dramatically. Your ability to make good decisions, focus on important tasks, and think long-term becomes severely impaired. This isn't a character flaw or personal weakness. It's a documented biological response to chronic stress that affects even the most capable individuals. The psychological effects run much deeper than poor decision-making. Financial stress triggers a cascade of mental health challenges that can persist long after the immediate crisis passes. Research consistently shows strong correlations between being broke and depression, anxiety disorders, panic attacks, and emotional exhaustion. The constant worry about money creates a state of chronic stress that floods your system with cortisol and other stress hormones. These hormones don't just make you feel bad temporarily, they physically alter your brain structure over time. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for executive function and rational thinking, becomes impaired. Meanwhile, the amygdala, your brain's alarm system, becomes hyperactive and oversensitive. This biological shift pushes you toward reactive, defensive behaviors rather than thoughtful, goal-directed responses. Perhaps most devastating is the shame and stigma that accompanies financial hardship in our society. Money troubles are often viewed as personal failures, leading to intense feelings of embarrassment, self-doubt, and worthlessness. This shame becomes a psychological prison that isolates you from others and prevents you from seeking help when you need it most. You start declining social invitations because you can't afford to participate. You avoid conversations about finances, vacations, or purchases. You withdraw from support systems that could actually provide assistance or emotional comfort. The isolation compounds the original problem, creating a downward spiral that becomes increasingly difficult to escape. This psychological burden affects every aspect of your daily life. At work, financial stress significantly reduces productivity, increases absenteeism, and impairs professional relationships. People experiencing financial hardship call in sick more often, not necessarily from physical illness, but from the mental and emotional exhaustion of carrying constant financial worry. This creates a vicious cycle. Poor work performance leads to job insecurity, which increases financial stress, which further impairs cognitive function and work performance. Breaking out of this cycle requires understanding both the psychological and practical components of the problem. Relationships suffer tremendously under the weight of financial pressure. Money disagreements and financial strain are among the top predictors of divorce, with studies showing that 20 to 40% of divorces are due to financial problems. Financial stress doesn't just create arguments about spending, it fundamentally changes how partners perceive each other and interact daily. The family stress model explains how external financial pressures systematically disrupt close relationships by increasing conflict and emotional distress between family members. When you're constantly stressed about money, you're more likely to be irritable, impatient, emotionally unavailable, and reactive to minor issues. Children in financially stressed households face particularly severe challenges. They absorb the tension, anxiety, and conflict in the household, often developing their own stress responses, behavioral problems, and emotional difficulties. The chronic stress environment affects their developing brains and nervous systems, potentially impacting their cognitive abilities and emotional regulation for years to come. The scarcity mindset extends far beyond immediate financial decisions. When you're broke, your entire worldview shifts toward survival mode and crisis management. You become hyper-focused on immediate needs and urgent problems while losing sight of long-term goals, opportunities for growth, and strategic thinking. This tunnel vision can prevent you from seeing potential solutions, networking opportunities, or taking calculated risks that might actually improve your situation over time. You become so focused on putting out fires that you can't step back and develop a comprehensive plan for improvement. Neuroimaging studies reveal that scarcity mindset alters brain activity in regions critical for decision-making. There's increased activation in the orbitofrontal cortex related to valuation of scarce resources, and decreased activity in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, which is crucial for goal-directed, long-term decision-making. This shift explains why people experiencing scarcity focus on immediate needs at the expense of strategic planning. The good news is that understanding these psychological mechanisms is the crucial first step toward breaking free from them and regaining control over your mental state. Recognizing that financial stress systematically impairs your thinking doesn't make you weak. It makes you human and gives you the knowledge needed to counteract these effects. Building awareness of how scarcity mindset operates allows you to catch yourself when you're making decisions from a place of fear, desperation, or tunnel vision. You can learn to pause, take a step back, and ask yourself whether you're responding to the actual situation or to the stress surrounding it. The research shows that these mental effects are situational and temporary, not permanent character traits. Your cognitive abilities aren't permanently damaged. They're temporarily impaired by the stress and mental load of financial hardship. This means that with the right strategies and support, you can restore your mental clarity and decision-making abilities. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more content. I appreciate each and every one of you. See you in the next video.